Hello, my name is Rick Watson, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my family. Buried behind me right here, marker, lies my grandmother and grandfather Watson, Charlie Watson. His dad's name was Allie Watson, and my grandmother, and her name was Willie Davis Watson. Her dad was H.W. Davis. People called him Colonel. They married back, I don't really know the year they got married, but she told me an interesting story. I've got her on tape telling me an interesting story about how she met my granddaddy, Paps, what we called him. She was at church, and I think she said was here at this little white church, but I could be wrong about that. But she said that she was on the back road, and it was springtime, it's pretty weather, and he came by, and he saw her, and he threw a rose through the back window of that church, and it landed in her lap. And that rose started a romance that lasted until he died in, I think, 1967. Together, Charlie and Willie had 4 kids. Charles Jr., which is my dad, Christine Stevens, Willadine Levan, and Pete Watson was the baby boy. My parents had kids. It was my older brother Neil, my older sister Mary Lois. She married a Caps. I was the middle child. I married Gilda Phillips Watson. I have a younger sister, Christy, that's 10 years younger than me. She married a Reed. And I had a baby brother, Darren, who died at 35, way too soon. Willadine had 3 kids. She had her oldest one was Bruce Levan. He's now a Church of God preacher up in Empire, Alabama. This is 2014. Their middle child was Mickey, who actually lived with us quite a bit. We were close as brothers for a long time. And he's since passed away, and he's buried down here with his mom and dad. And they had a baby sister named My Ava. And I've got a picture of the whole family a little bit later, and she's the baby in that picture, which will be kind of fun to look at a little bit later on. And Pete had 2 kids, the oldest being Robbie Lane, which was just a little bit younger than me, and Frankie was the baby, and both of them boys are still living as of now. Charlie and Willie made their way. He worked in the mines, and when that played out, I guess it was in the late 50s, they moved up to Hammond, Indiana, as a lot of Southerners from this area did, to find work. And they found work, he found work in the garbage dump of all places. And he enjoyed that work. He found a lot of things, useful things. I remember going to visit him one summer, and he had collected a gallon jar full of cat-eye marbles that he gave me. And I don't know why that stands out in my mind, but anyhow, when I got it home and put it in the windowsill, each time the sun came through that window and hit that gallon jug of marbles, it cast a kaleidoscope of color all over the room. It was beautiful. I wish I still had that gallon jug of marbles. But anyhow, they moved back down here, and they built a small house at West Pratt right next to us, and that's where they lived until he died. And she died several years later, just several years after that. But anyhow, they're buried right up here. And I'll have more of this story just a little bit later on, but this is where it all started, right here.